Buenos dias, hello, and welcome to a new episode of our podcast, Mal Anders. Today in English, because we have an international guest today. He is currently touring across whole Europe and having really good insights into being an artist on tour. Not just even that, he has a label, he does festivals in Turkey, and much more is going on. I may represent, and I'm really lucky to have him here, Bodaishin. Hi.
Hola, amigo.
Hola, hola. Nice to have you here. Thank you for that. I would like to start with the first question, what you have mentioned in our previous talks, and it's kind of stuck in my head. And you told me that it's not so easy to close your eyes in Barcelona, open them in Vienna, close them again, and wake up in Graz and play in 2 days in Croatia. What is so difficult, or how do you describe the current situation?
It's an interesting question that I ask to myself all the time. Um, I think the brain has the capacity to adapt to any situation. To be honest, I'm doing this like since many years, not just with the music. I started to travel like this 7 years ago, just to discover the world, living experience. And at that time, it was almost the same because I think it for me was kind of uh, fun to do this. 7 years after, I found myself doing the same, but with the music and for work, which is completely different. And for me, it's normal, but sometimes I ask myself if I'm processing all the information and all the things that I live. For example, the other day I play here. Imagine if the next day I travel to another country and I play again, and then again the next day. Uh, how can you really process all things that you live in that moment without missing anything? Because when you play, you live a lot of things in that moment, and your body is processing a lot of emotions. And maybe you have people that also is living like important feelings and having emotion inside, and that people give you that looking into your eyes for the whole set, and that's energy that you receive the whole set and the whole time, and it's super strong. And for me, that kind of experience, I like to really be present and maybe process all the information, all the feelings, all experience that I have in that night. And sometimes it's impossible because maybe you finish playing and you need to go to sleep, and the next day you need to wake up like maybe 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or 8 a.m., depending on the time when you finish. And you take another plane, you go to another place, new people, new experience, and that's it. You forget about last night, you forget about that people that for that people maybe that moment was everything, and for the next week they are thinking about that moment every day. And for you it's like maybe you forgot that. So it's super difficult to process all the information. Sometimes it's hard.
There you see how quick everything got. I think um, that for somebody the thing is maybe one of the best experiences what they had until now, and for you it's kind of uh, a job. Does it feel you definitely had also time when it was kind of a hobby? doing music, and then I assume, then it got more and more job. Can you still enjoy playing music?
100%. Not every event. Of course, depends. Sometimes I'm super tired, and sometimes I'm not like fully present. And but at some point of the set, I enjoy 100% everything. But for me, it's complicated. To, I think for everyone that is doing that for a long time, it's complicated to keep that energy and the enthusiasm all the time. So of course, it's human if sometimes I don't enjoy the set or the event, but usually there is a part of my show, my set, that I'm 100% focused on that. And in my case, I don't want to keep doing this for many years because I want to really enjoy and I want to take care about my body. I want to take care about my healthy, my mental health. So in my case, I gonna try to do it more separate. For example, playing once a week. I think once a week would be perfect for me because, as I said, I want to take care of my health because it's super important. And if I don't have the energy, if I don't give my 100% to the people, what's the point?
Mm. This is what I wanted to ask as an last question. How long do you think can you be on tour? Of course, this is a completely objective question because there are some examples like Sven Feth, who is 50 and still touring, and there are some other artists who are also touring. But man, I'm seeing you, um, and it's from my perspective, it looks damn pretty hard, and not like Instagram and the socials are telling you, hey, I'm so successful because I'm doing that and I'm doing that. This I cannot even describe it in words how difficult I imagine this could be. Not just from the working perspective, also in terms of what do I really want? Do I really want to do this for the next year?
Actually, sometimes after the show, I came back to the hostel to the room and I asked myself, do I really want? And this happened very often. And I think it's normal. It is happen very often. I think it's human. If someone say the opposite, maybe it's not so connected with themselves, like 100%. Because if you are really connected with your mind and your body, you're gonna listen. You're gonna listen to your body, and you're gonna ask this kind of question, which is super normal. I don't know how much time I could do this, and and of course for the people that see me in Instagram, of course they will think they know anything. They just know maybe the last video, the most beautiful video. Maybe it would be nice to also post something like the word thing of my trip.
Mm.
I would love to do that. Maybe for now, no. But I would love to do that pictures, like just one post about horrible and terrible things that happened during the tour. I think would be nice. Me and other artists doing this maybe would help to the emerging artists say, okay, wait, this is what I really want. Because a lot of new artists, maybe they think that they want this kind of life and they work so hard for many years and they don't even know what's from the other side.
And this is a good point because it nothing here is perfect, as we maybe hear it on the tone, and also maybe the camera angles are not perfect. But it could also be a message that maybe it's not so important to have the complete perfection, like you mentioned it on Instagram. Everything has kind of the perfect frame, and everybody is trying to get the perfect frame in order to have the perfect shot for the audience outside. But the question I'm asking is it really necessary to live this kind of perfection, or may it be less than perfect, so like beautifully unperfected?
It's so difficult because I think it's part of the show also get things through Instagram 2024. So of course it's necessary to show the beautiful things that we are doing, because in my case it took a lot of effort to arrive to this point. So I think also it's positive to show and give like a positive message and show something nice, because of course at some point it's a beautiful life. I'm doing what I love, and that's the most important. But also I think it's important to start showing these imperfections, and this is a message also for myself, because I'm trying to remember this every day. But at some point everything is confused,
We get lost.
because I get lost very often, and sometimes I won't lie, maybe I make a post on Instagram and I'm super sad, and maybe I didn't really enjoy the gig, the show. Maybe it was like but for Instagram maybe you say thanks a lot, amazing crowd, amazing blah blah blah, because it's also what the people want to see and hear. But yeah, sometimes it's not 100% like this, and we should be more real about that on Instagram. I try, but of course I'm human, and yeah,
I think at least giving it a try, at least allowing the thought of it hasn't to be perfect, is maybe can be a start, or could be a start to, if one starts, the second starts, and then I think the whole pressure would relieve in some kind of way, that these fake and pretended things are getting less, I think. But these are just my thoughts. Basically, what I wanted to talk also with you is, due to that you are on tour always, you see which music is being played in Western Europe, South America, for example, and what are currently the trends you are seeing and facing?
I think Afro house, Afro techno house, maybe it's something that you can listen often around the world. Even in South America it's getting like stronger. In Ibiza, for example, you can see how trendy is Afro house. But I think everything is coming back to house in different way, maybe more progressive, maybe more modern, with a modern synthesizer, but we are coming back to the root, I think. And
That's good.
also I'm discovering more like house vibes, and I think, for example, a lot of producers are using a lot of samples from 19th, 18th, and they are making something really interesting and more modern, which is great, because I couldn't show it that time, and I think now I'm understanding how people from that age enjoyed the dance floor with that kind of music. So I think it's really interesting. I'm also playing this kind of music sometimes. So yeah, I think house vibes are coming back.
Good to know, and good to hear because of here in Graz, for example, lots of techno, and through the own bubble we just see the techno bubble, and it's good to hear also as me as a house guy that house is coming back. So basically, we said that we want to do it quick and dirty for the first shot, and I think we got an small imprint and saw and heard how difficult it can be on tour, and a bit, just a tiny bit about the current trends in your opinion. And last thing, what I wanted to say is thanks for the time. And we will definitely think about a longer version where we can get more deeply in these things. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias a todos.
Adiós. Bye bye.